Hey there. If we haven't met before, my name is Dan Mendelo. Pleasure to meet you. And of all of the things that I do, playing around with neuropsychology is one of my favorites. Because, well, that's where I got my formal education from, Carnegie Mellon University for cognitive science. And one of the things that they do there within cognitive science is artificial intelligence. It's understanding how the brain turns stimulus into information. For example, you have 13 million bits of data going through your mind in any single second. But your brain can only retain and make sense of about 127 of them every single second. That means it has to filter out almost all of the information that hits it. Well, it seems to be pretty important if you want to make sense of your reality and improve it, that you would understand how that works, right? And then how to change it. You ever met someone who just focuses on the negative? What are they filtering out? Or people who somehow have a resilience to negative things, focusing on the positive and learning and all the empowering stuff, what are they filtering out? How do you go from one to the other? How is it that some people can just believe in themselves so much, the confidence to do things, and while other people constantly struggle with the feeling of not being enough? Right, here's one of the things that people seem to keep on running into. How do we become more confident? What prevents us from being the people we want to be? We say, well, Dan, no, I can't do this, or I'm this, or I'm that. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not strong enough. I just can't do these things. This stuff happens to other people, but just not me. Right? And we look and we find evidence. You can say, Dan, no, it's not just a guess. It's because of look at all these things that have happened to me in my life. Well, that's where I get the belief from. That's where I get these statements from. Well, when you understand the neuropsychology of change and how you really formulate this thing called reality, one, you'll understand how that works, and two, you'll be able to change it. So there's this thing called the functional brain wiring. That's what I call the collection of neurosynaptic connections in your brain that produce thought and behavior. It's a neural network. It's a circuit, right? Now, if you think about how a circuit works, a circuit, let's say a coffee maker, right? Coffee maker only knows how to make coffee. Doesn't matter what the hell you put into it. I don't care how many lemons you put into it. It's not going to make you lemonade. It's going to make you very shitty coffee, right? Or it's just not going to work. See, when your brain has a belief in it, that is a circuit, a piece of circuitry inside your functional brain wiring. And your brain is going to pass information through it. That means that it's either going to take the information and try to turn it into something that circuit can understand, or it's not going to work at all. It's going to reject it. You're going to kick it out. Now, as a real easy one, try to talk to a flat earther, give them as many pieces of evidence as you want. They will have something to say about every single one of them, because they have a belief that the earth is flat. That means their brain will distort information in front of them, convince them whatever they need to be convinced of, to the point of literally making shit up. Or they'll just deny it, say, no, you're crazy. Nope, you're saying bull, and no, the earth is flat, that's just the way it is, I don't care what you say. For example, if you believe you are not good enough, let's say to get a hot date, right? You have this belief, I'm not good enough to get the dates I want. Well, when you go out and you see that attractive stranger, that belief is going to kick in and you're not going to go approach them. Why? Because you're not good enough and the pain of rejection isn't worth it. You're just not going to do it. But the thing is, that attractive stranger is going to walk away. You're going to see someone else go up and say hi, and they're going to make a connection, and you'll say, see, I'm just not good enough. Can't even go up and talk to her or him. Or what happens if you do? You go up there and right before you talk, you go, because you don't have the confidence that's required in order to be yourself. Why? Because you have the belief, I'm not good enough. So you will sabotage yourself as a result of that, and then you'll get rejected. Then your brain looks at the evidence, says, see, I'm not good enough. Told you, shouldn't have even tried. And that reinforces the belief. Now, your functional brain wiring is constructed of all of these networks. Crazy, right? Now, here's the thing. Let's say something goes right. Let's say you do get the date. Let's say you do get the number. You know what's going to happen? That network is going to make you discount it. Well, lucky strike, won't happen again. Or will make you believe whatever so that you screw it up. You got the number, can't get the date. Got the date, can't form a connection. Got the connection, sabotage the relationship because of that network. Same network, two different ways of enforcing the belief into reality. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, when you have a functional brain wiring that's constructed of all of these beliefs of who you are not, what you are capable of, what you're not capable of, what your life is, what it is not, what's possible for you, what is not, your brain will be on the constant search for evidence that support your beliefs, and it will distort reality so that you can maintain them. And you can't talk your way out of a belief. Ever tried to talk yourself into being more confident? Doesn't work. Why? Because it doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you believe. It matters what you believe. It matters what you feel. That's what constructs your identity. Your identity is a formulation of all of these beliefs. And they come from childhood, from what your parents told you, media, your friends, from what you experienced in life. All of these things coming as lessons inside of your unconscious mind in order to protect you from even greater pain. That's what self-sabotage is. It's your functional brain wiring protecting you by enforcement of beliefs, protecting you from greater pain. So we can, because these are all lessons, these are all things that you learned at one time, we can take advantage of the brain's number one priority, which is to keep you safe. Another one of the priority is to use the least amount of energy possible, the way of the least friction. So if you can show your brain an easier way to protect you, faster, takes less energy, feels even better, adds more protection, it'll let go of the old lessons. You can change your functional brain wiring, literally redirecting energy out of one circuit into another circuit until that previous circuit gets reformulated by neuroplasticity. It gets taken over. And when it used to be dedicated to making you feel not good enough, it can be dedicated to something completely different now. And that's the whole thing. The more of these networks you have that disempower you, the closer you get to feeling helpless, hopeless, and depressed. The more of these neural networks you have that empower you, the more confident, positive, self-assured you are. And the thing is, because your brain will do whatever it needs to do to the point of creating evidence where there was no reality there, right? It'll make shit up in order to fulfill the self-fulfilling prophecy or allow you to continue believing in the thing. When you replace disempowering beliefs with empowering beliefs, all of a sudden your brain will do everything it can to show you how confident you are, to show you how valuable, how worthy, how strong, how capable, how blessed, how abundant, how lovable you are. And your behavior will reflect that without you having to remember it, without you having to know anything else, without you having to do anything else. Because let me ask you, it is a circuit, right? If you have a circuit that makes you feel not good enough, have you ever forgotten it? Have you ever gone, I forgot to play small. I forgot to feel fear. I forgot to shoot myself in the foot. No, you never had to remember that because it was inside of your functional brain wiring. Change it and you'll never have to remember how awesome you are either. And with the techniques that I use, that's it. It's systematically replacing these old disempowering, fearful beliefs with empowering, confident ones until you live into the person you know yourself to be, connecting with your higher truths, connecting with your higher purpose, connecting with your higher path, and boom, you have an entire life at once transformation. And that's just the tip of the neuropsychology I use with rapid expansion and alignment coaching.